Hello everyone, Happy New Year. It's going to be the New Year's NBA slate for today, starting off with the Memphis and Hornets game. On the Memphis side, still John Morant's going to be out, but now Grayson Allen is likely to miss this game. And so looking at this team, they probably will start Desmond Bane in place of him because he started the second half for Grayson Allen. And Bane is a three-point shooter where he has some underrated playmaking defensive skills, but he's going to be more of a spot-up shooter here. He can certainly reach value of 3,700, but for a 10-game slate, I'm going to try to find better value for the main guys. Valanciunas, 8,300. I think that's priced about where he should be. Biyombo's an undersized center that isn't that great of a defender. Joe Val can certainly have one of those monster, 25, 15 games. He's always capable of that. And especially without Ja, there's certainly more usage for him, but it doesn't quite feel like a core play. Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson are fine as well. They're priced all right for Ja being out. Tyus Jones, they got blown out last time, so all their minutes will be much better unless this game is also blowout, which it's hard to predict. But Tyus Jones, all these guys, their prices are just about right where nothing really stands out. Charlotte's side, Gordon Hayward's all right. This is a pretty good matchup for him. Memphis has struggled with forwards to begin the season. I would rather take Hayward over Rozier and Graham. Bridges, just because he's coming off the bench, I'm not going to be a fan of him. He had a great game last time, so his price really went up. Same with LaMelo Ball. Just on the Charlotte side, it's not too appealing because I think they're priced about where they should be, even though it is a very good a good matchup for them. For the Miami side, Jimmy Butler is going to be back. He's currently probable, so it's going to take a hit for Bam, Hero, and Dragic. But I think Butler himself, if he's not on a minutes limit, which I don't expect him to be, this is a pretty good spot for him because he's priced a little bit cheap, I would say, and he's got multi-position eligibility. And certainly they're going to need him to defend Luka. I think another option is Duncan Robinson, 4,400. He's a three-point shooter, so you need him to knock down his shots. You need him to get a lot of attempts, but he is cheap enough where he can certainly get you 30-plus DraftKings points. So he'll be in play for tournaments. Dallas side, Luka, 10.3K. He said that he's just not in shape, but if you're telling me that we can still get a 90% or however what shape Luka is in for 10.3K, this price is too cheap because still he's going to be playing without Porzingis. Yes, Jimmy Butler is probably going to defend him, but Luka, we've seen what kind of player that this guy is, and he has crazy upside. So for tournaments, you can never just completely fade this guy. So Luka's going to be in play. His ownership's not going to be too high because he just hasn't had a great game yet this season. Other guys, Maxi Kleber could miss this game, which would help Dorian Finney-Smith because usually they do sub in for each other. So DFS 4,200, his price tag is down, and with Kleber possibly being out, that's going to certainly make him a value play, but not going to be the best one on the slate. Boston side, this game has a lot of blowout potential because Blake Griffin is out. Tatum, I would prefer him over Brown. Brown had a tremendous game last time, but he shot just insane. He was 7 for 10, 15 for 21. That's just not sustainable. So he's not going to be scoring 42 real-life points consistently. So Tatum, only $500 more, just feels so much better than Jalen. Smart's okay at 6,300, but it sucks that they took away shooting guard eligibility for him. Tristan Thompson is back, so Teague's going to be coming off the bench again, and Tyus Robert Williams, they're just not as great with Tristan in there. Detroit side of the ball, these guys have been priced up. Blake Griffin is out. That's obviously going to help everyone else. But Killian Hayes is an important injury because he might miss this game, and DeLon Wright could potentially start then. There's definitely a path for DeLon because he's only 4,200. Derrick Rose, 5,900. He certainly could. He honestly should close this game if it's close, and I think at that price tag you can definitely consider him. Plumlee, his minutes were down last time, and that was without Okafor. Okafor is likely to return, so that's a little bit of concern, but he did play pretty heavy minutes when Okafor was healthy in the first game, so he still got 32. But this price tag, just Boston's a very good defensive team. I'm just not really a fan of this side. Atlanta and Brooklyn, if you look at the totals, this game has a 245 total currently, and that is by far the highest total, and also only a 6.5 spread, so it certainly should be a close game. Trae Young is probable, so I would expect him to play. John Collins is going to be pretty good. He got into foul trouble again, so his minutes, we still haven't seen a game where he's been out of foul trouble or blowouts. So, I mean, we can certainly see Collins reach over 31, probably closer to like 35 minutes. And at this price tag against KD, I said it last time, KD can't handle John Collins. He's too big, too physical. But the same thing on the other end. Collins cannot handle KD because KD's just, I mean, his handles, his speed, all of that. So this is a good opposite matchup for both of these guys at the power forward position. Clint Capella still probably going to get a minutes limit, and DeAndre Jordan and Jarrett Allen are pretty good rebounding centers, so it's not a matchup for them, or for Capella rather. And then DeAndre Hunter is questionable, Gallinari is out, Rondo is out, and so I mentioned about Bogdan last time. He's going to get some ball handling opportunities now, because if Rondo, we already know Rondo is out, but that means Bogdan's going to play some minutes without Trae, especially with Bogdan coming off the bench. So, I mean, he could potentially start if Hunter misses this game, but their minutes will be staggered. So Bogdan's going to operate as the primary ball handler throughout this game. So I do have an interest in Bogdan. He's priced up now, but this is a crazy 245 total. Like, anyone in this side, honestly, in this game is pretty much in play for tournaments. Cam Reddish is going to be a nice salary saver, 4,700. His minutes will be more secure if Hunter is out. Brooklyn side, KD, obviously. I prefer him over Kyrie by a lot. Kevin Durant has triple-double upside, and the most important thing that I saw last game was because of Spencer Dinwiddie being out for the season, KD's minutes were staggered with Kyrie, where he was playing sometimes with LeVert, obviously, but KD's going to be the number one option then, and in those minutes that he's not playing with Kyrie, that just helps his usage so much. And he's playing alongside guys that just don't get a whole lot of usage, like these bench players like Prince, Shamet, Jeff Green. Like, it really helps KD's usage. And again, just the total, he shouldn't be 9,100. I'm going to go right back to him. Chicago, this is a back-to-back for them, so there could potentially be some rest. But Thaddeus Young is probably going to be a very high-owned value play, and he should be, because he's 3,500, and with Lauri Markkanen out, Sato is out as well, Hutchinson. If he still is able to play this game back-to-back, and also he's one of the older guys, and they just played, or it's his first game back from injury, from a leg infection, he could miss, he could rest, but being how short-handed they are, they probably play him. Obviously, that's just a guess. But if he does, 3,500, very much in play. Going to be definitely like a cash lock pretty much. Other parts, this game has like a 14-point spread, 14.5. So it is a high total, but you're definitely worried about blowout. So, if you're thinking this game stays close, it can't just be one guy carrying it. So if you're going to play a buck, you want to play Giannis, Middleton, or Drew. I think that for Middleton and Drew, they're cheap enough where they can get there in 3 quarters. But if you're playing Giannis, most likely you're going to need him to play 4 quarters to hit value at 11K. He's priced up. And in that case, you're going to want to play probably like 2 Bulls, because Bulls, they're cheap. We know Levine's the dude, but they're going to need other help. Kobe White, he played pretty well. His minutes were at 40 with Sato out, so that seems pretty nice. But Drew Holiday defense is definitely something to worry about. Just the whole Milwaukee team, it really very well could be a blowout. So I do have those concerns. But you can't really just say that and not, if you fade it, then you're probably going to lose, because if this game's close, then someone on this Bulls side probably is having a really good game. And then more specifically for the Bucks side, guys I didn't mention, it really isn't that great. Like, I think Brook Lopez worth a mention, because the Bulls have been really bad against centers, like dating back a few seasons now. But Brook Lopez is a stretch 5, so he's not someone that's going to dominate inside. So I don't think we should interpret that info as the same way that we do typically against other centers like Thomas Bryant today. And then Washington, Minnesota. This is a very nice game. Both teams are not good defensively. Westbrook should rest because it's a back-to-back, and in that case, we're going to have 2 great plays. Bradley Beal, 9,400. He's priced up, but if you look at last time, he took 29 shots and only made 10 of them. He has just crazy 60-plus point upside. He's 9,400. He honestly has the same upside as those 10, 11K players. I don't think that's a hot take. He's playing heavy minutes, which definitely helps that. And in a game where it shouldn't blow out because Towns is out for Minnesota, these two sides just aren't that great. And especially with Washington, they're still winless. So Bradley Beal, I do expect him to play heavy minutes. He's going to have all the usage in the world. And then Raul Neto starting for Westbrook most likely. Make sure that he is, because, there's a small chance that Ish Smith could. And in that case, then prefer Ish over Neto. But Neto, 3,400. This is way too cheap. They might have priced up Beal, but Neto, he is down actually. And I don't expect him to put up 40 again. This guy is a pass first point guard. I don't know why he took 17 shots last time. But this is definitely a better matchup against the Wolves and the Magic. So definitely 3,400 cash play for sure, cash lock. So Neto, gonna have a lot of interest in him. Beal, other guys, Roy Hachimura made his debut today, so maybe he plays on a back-to-back. Not sure. I think he does because he's young, but just make sure to follow up on that. Bertans, he had a really bad shooting night. He should play because he played on the last back-to-back. Denny Avdia, he's 5K now. I think he's priced right. Last time when Westbrook was out, he did get a lot more usage, 4 for 11, 28.75. Like, that's pretty good even at 5K, but for a 10-game slate, that's not going to be enough to winning a tournament. Minnesota side, I really like D'Angelo Russell, 7,500. Without Cat, his usage just skyrockets. And then same thing with Beasley. They started Rubio. They started 3 guards. So I do like Rubio, his upside here. Raul Neto, not a good defender. Rubio, he has a lot of good upside. Like 5,200 with him starting now, because it was a blowout, he only got 26 minutes. He's not this great of a shooter, but he's known for passing, and there's certainly guys that he can get assists from. Obviously, D'Lo, and then Beasley's a very good shooter. Naz Reid, and he's also a pretty underrated rebounder. Hasn't seen the numbers yet, but now without Towns, that should definitely bump those numbers up, and he's actually a really good steals player. So 5,200 against the Wizards, I really like Rubio as well. Would prefer D'Lo, obviously, but if you need to save money, for sure, you can't go wrong with Rubio for tournaments because he definitely has upside. And then Jared Culver, he's 4,100. He should play big minutes with Okogie out. And then Naz Reid, it sucks he's not power forward eligible anymore, but Wizards, they're also really weak against centers. So Thomas Bryant, not a great defender. Naz Reid in play. He did really well when Towns was out last year. Now, the Lakers side, I think they're priced pretty well. LeBron, he's questionable, but he played last time when he was questionable, so I expect them to be pretty much fully healthy. Obviously, Caruso's out, but that's really much it. And I think 80, he just hasn't been the same for whatever reason. Wouldn't surprise me if he went off, but it just doesn't feel like that good of a play when Bradley Beal is right there playing without Westbrook, where he's still playing with LeBron. Schroeder playing really well as well. Harrell's priced pretty much where he should be, so not too much to see here for the Lakers. Spurs side, Aldridge is questionable. If you were to miss, that's going to be bumps for all these guys. DeRozan, Murray, Gay. But Derek White is going to return. Not sure about his minutes or whether he starts or not, but that's going to hurt Lonnie Walker, Keldon Johnson, Murray, of course. So for the Spurs side, I would prefer DeRozan the most here. And then Pirtle's worth a look if Aldridge is still out. Other than that, it's really not going to be much else. Phoenix side, they're on a back-to-back as well. Denver, their defense hasn't been that great this year, and I think they're priced pretty nicely. Chris Paul did play on a back-to-back last time, so I think he probably plays here. And his underpriced, 1,600. Booker, 8K. He's okay. Ayton, 7K. He's actually played pretty well in the past against Jokic. So hopefully, he's pretty much gone in foul trouble every single game. Or gone into blowouts. So when it all comes together, he's going to definitely have just a smash game. So whenever that happens, hopefully, we're on him. But 7K, it's really a good price tag to take some shots on in tournaments and just pray that he doesn't get into foul trouble against Jokic. For the Denver side, Jokic 10.6K. He's getting expensive, but he deserves this price tag. He has put up triple doubles with ease. He was only short of 1 rebound here. And because of all these close games, I do expect it to be another close game. He has, 70 DraftKings points. Like, he's well worth this price tag. But for just a 10-game slate, it's easier to find value in, the mid-range. So it's going to be a little bit tough to play Jokic. Porter's okay, but with Murray back, that's why Porter did so good last time. Millsap minutes have been safer, but 4,800. Big slate, I think we can do better than that. Next game. Clippers side with Kawhi and Paul George being priced so closely. Gonna prefer Kawhi, $500 more. And then other guys, I just don't really have interest with Kawhi being back. Morris is still out, so Batum's gonna start, but he's 4,600. He's not at 3Ks anymore. Beverly, just such a low floor at 4,100. go with Neto, Thad Young if he plays. Those are just better value plays. Utah side, they're on a back-to-back as well. Gobert 7,400. That's pretty good. He's been a double-double lock. He's still underpriced. Donovan Mitchell, same thing. He's very cheap. And it is going to be concerning for the matchup that he's going to see with Paul George probably going to be guarding him, and then have Patrick Beverley. Just the matchups that he'll see. But 6,800, there have been games where Donovan Mitchell just gets in a duel like with the other team's best player, like George, Kawhi. Like when they've played against teams that have like this one-star guard or forward or whatever, he has had games where he just chucks up like 25 plus shots, and this could certainly be it. And his shot attempts are always pretty safe. So, 1,600, he seems like a really good cash play. He has definitely a great ceiling for tournaments. So, back to back, maybe concerning, but still 1,600 is too cheap for Mitchell. Conley's okay, but Mitchell just has a way better upside for $200 more. And other than that, with everyone being healthy, as of now, with no rest news available, just not going to be there. And then last game, Portland Golden State. This game has a high total as well, with 231 total. It's actually rising, only 4-point spread. Draymond Green's expected to return, so hopefully this game stays close. But Blazers haven't been that great this year either, so I'm not too concerned about blowout. Lillard, he's finally under 10K, so that's good, but I still feel like he's kind of overpriced with everyone healthy. CJ, same thing. He's had a few games, but 8,400, it's tough to pay that price tag. But Nurkic, he's going to be one of my favorite plays. James Wiseman, he's a really big center, but Nurkic is definitely stronger, and he's just more skilled. James Wiseman's still pretty raw. He's a rookie, and Nurkic has been in the league for quite a few years now. His minutes have been low, but that's also been because of blowout. I think foul trouble, actually. And also for the 28th, this game, this was because Enes Kanter, the bench for the Blazers, just played really well, which it caused the Stars to lose a lot of minutes. So 6,700 against the Warriors, which their defense just hasn't been good. Even if they go small, they have Draymond back, their defense is just not going to be as great because of how undersized Draymond is at center against a guy like Nurkic. For Covington, 4,600, he was in foul trouble last time, so his minutes, we should still see him play high 30s. So 4,600, he's someone that is reliant on defensive stats, but he does rebound pretty well. And 4,600, there's a lot of upside for this guy. And Derrick Jones Jr., last value play. He got blowout run last time, which Gary Trent Jr. being out, that helped him because he didn't get blowout the last time that they were in the blowout. Trent got that, so if you're playing and worried about blowout, don't play him if Trent is going to be in. So for the entire slate, favorite plays, you have to look at the Washington side with Westbrook being out. So roll Neto if he starts. If he doesn't, probably Ish Smith. Then you go with Ish instead of Neto, but Bradley Beal, and then run it back with D'Angelo Russell, 7,500. Center, really love use of Nurkic here, and then for value, if Thaddeus Young were to play, obviously go with him because he's just too cheap. And then I guess because of the other clear value or clear free play, Kevin Durant. So I think for today, there's going to be 6 great plays. So Raul Neto, Beal, Thaddeus Young, Nurk, D'Lo, and KD. So again, Happy New Year's. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck on this New Year's slate. And please subscribe to the channel, like the video before you go. As always, follow me on Twitter @BobFulls. Link will be in the description below. And thank you, and see you in the next video. Bye.